All right. Had a lot of health stuff going on this week, so I'm gonna be doing a bit of well, I guess I've just been not concentrating on streaming too much because I've had a lot going on outside. But I've also been taking a bit of a pause on my voice work and singing, partly due. Oh, hey, look, a thing that I forgot to change. Uh, Hey Nesto, how are you feeling today? I hope you're doing a bit better. Also, Pikachu is pretty cute. Personally, I prefer Eevee, but Pikachu is the OG. Um, how are you doing? Get your fridge stocked? Oh, well, you know, you can still sleep if you need to. I'm having a bit of a silly voice training day today. Um, Mostly because, oh man. Oh, Nesto, what do you think of the background image? I used a kind of stock image from Google last time, and I was like, I probably shouldn't use that forever. So I fucked around and made this new one. I'm not 100% on it, but, you know, at least I made it. uh I hope that your day has been going well, and uh I wish only good things for you regardless. Um yes. Yeah, so normally with voice training, I'm talking about techniques and stuff. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I did a lot of weird shit to get those colors. Like, and then I had to replicate it afterwards, which is always the hardest thing if you've just been like using various filters and like I don't think they're called macros, but like, weird features that have like buttons and dials. And then I realized that I fucked part of it up and then had to redo it in like a better resolution. And that was hard. But it was nice because I've never, it's been a while since I just did stuff with color. As an artist, color has never been my strong point. I did once do I got hired to do cover art for a nonprofit. And like, I did this really elaborate, thing with a bunch of people standing with protest signs in front of a Capitol building, but I got hired because they posted a job and nobody applied, and then somebody I knew worked with them and was like, "Hey, do you want to do you want to take this job no one applied to?" And I was like, "Sure." But the thing is, I had to do it basically overnight. Oh yeah. Nah, nah. Sleep Nesto. I'm gonna try to get back into my morning routine and hopefully get to see you not at the end of your day. I hope you sleep well, and I'll see you next time. It's good to see you. Yeah, anyway, yeah, color is not my strong point as an artist. That's been something I struggle with, and it was fun to just kind of play around with it. Um, Maybe I will share that let's see. I know in here somewhere I've got my old DeviantArt with, of course, the username that I use everywhere because I'm terrible at like security of online stuff, but that's just life sometimes. Let's see, where is this thing I made? Like, I do feel very proud of it because I worked really hard on it, but on the other hand, I can also fully admit that the coloring is not up to par. Um all right, I'm gonna just like show it real quick since I was talking about it anyway. Okay, so This, it was so hard making the details on this building. I basically like uh traced over a photo for the lines, and then you can see I have this cast of characters, but like, let's see, can I get this so that you can actually see the details, but it's not like super, um, it's not like super zoomed in. Boy, it's sure hard to control this with the scroll wheel. Oh, wait! Oh no, I don't have my Azeron plugged in. Okay, that would have been easier, because like, the scroll wheel on there is easier to control. What if I just... Sir, please come back. Actually, is this a good zoom level already? Did I just hit it on accident? Yeah, this is okay. Yeah, so I briefly did grassroots activism stuff, and like, they needed this art at like super short notice, and I did it, but like, when it got to the coloring bit, I was so rushed. I had no time for quality control, so like the saturation is all over the place. I feel like most of the characters look okay in isolation, but definitely the color scheme is not cohesive overall. Uh, it was still fun to do, but color, not my strong point. Same with flowiness of like characters. So anyway, I just wanted to show that off, because I don't know, I did it fast, but I still worked hard on it. Anyway, I've been talkative. So yeah, back to the actual topic, which is voice training. Yes, so voice training is a lot of it is practice, and sometimes repetitive tasks can be very soothing, but other times, like, it can be really boring. So I'm probably going to do a few of the repetitive voice training, but then I'm going to try some other things that I've been doing to keep it more interesting. And I've only done a few of these voice training videos, partly because, I don't know, I just feel like, on the one hand, I'm like, if I do the boring training and I stream it, then other people can just like also do their own training, and then like, even though it's boring, we're both sort of there for each other, even if it's like not live stream but later. But then on the other hand, I'm like, this is so hard for me to even do. Would it even be fun for people to watch? And also, like, I am working with a speech therapist, and like, they do teach me things, but my auditory learning curve is definitely different than my other learning curves, and so I struggle with it a bit more. And I, in one of my videos of voice training, I kind of like passed on things I've learned, but then after that, it's just very repetitive practice, and I do want to force myself to do it, and doing the streams is a way of like keeping myself accountable, even if nobody's watching them, honestly, that's fine. But sometimes I get bored and I just want to do something different. So I don't know. Maybe one day I'll figure out something to do. Also, fun fact, this little auditory, the little word zigzags in the middle, the sound bites, I exported that from Audacity, and it's literally just me saying trans rights are human rights. So for the memes, now you know. Anyway, yeah, so I think I'll be doing a bit of the regular voice training stuff. Sometime in the future, I'd like to do voice analysis, but it's hard for me because I actually do not have a good ear. My ear is not trained enough to do it properly. I did have my instructor, my therapist, my speech therapist, because they are a medical professional, Like, I did have them analyze three different voices, but then I'm like, but what if I do those three voices and I use like their graph of like the facts of that, and then like I can't do any more because I'm not trained enough to do it yet, and then what do I do? Um, anyway, random rambling aside, I will get into the voice training. We're going to start with the yawn sighs that are going to slide from high to low. So, going to do three of those. The vibrations help loosen up the throat, and I artificially heighten my voice for the sake of the fact that I've just been pretending to be cute for too long. That's just like, that's just a thing. So, Corchi likes cuteness, and it's just become a habit. So the yawn sighs help relax the throat, and this is not just for me, but like a lot of trans people, it like trans mask guys on T, non-binary people taking T, like you often, your voice drops and then you raise it to compensate kind of subconsciously, especially because like a lot of, I guess, like there are different societal expectations of men and women in heterosexual culture, and people are typically like raised under the dominant culture of wherever they live. And so, it's not uncommon for people to absorb things, right? So like there's some experiences that a trans person might share with somebody who had the same assigned sex as them but is cisgender. It's not going to be identical, obviously, because like, you're not the same gender as them internally, and you usually, generally, you weren't, even if you weren't like, even if you didn't have the language for that. So like your internal experience is kind of different on a fundamental level, but there's a lot that's similar to that. And so one of those things in my culture with like feminine voices versus masculine voices is that like girls and women and people mistaken for either of those things can be like encouraged to be very accommodating and do a lot of free emotional labor and like be aware of everybody's emotion and kind of play like the mom friend to people. It's not like, universal, but it's a very common expectation. You got to read the room and like accommodate people and mediate, especially if you're in a group of friends, and help people give advice for their personal issues. So like the tone of voice, and for example, I used to work customer service, and especially over the phone, even like, men who go into customer service often have to learn to do certain things that feminize their voice for the sake of accommodating the customer service environment, right? So they have to learn to like use a higher pitched voice, not for social reasons, but because lower pitched does not always pick up in microphones as well as higher pitched does often. So like just purely to be understood, a lot of men in customer service are trained to have a higher pitched voice. I tell you, my customer service voice is excellent, but it is also very feminine. So, when and I've heard this, I've heard other people have a similar experience as well, but when I am training to like go back to the masculine voice I had in college, for example, I'm trying to like remask my femboy voice. Like, I feel like I'm coming off as aggressive, or like I'm trying to pull a power dominant dynamic on people. And I don't think other people read that from me when I do my masculine voice necessarily. Or if they do read that, they still take it as a positive, right? Like, oh, this man is authoritative and trustworthy, rather than, oh, this motherfucking punk is trying to, like, put me in my place, right? So that's just like a social anxiety thing that I have to work through. And yeah, so like I find that it's easier for me to practice my masculine voice while streaming, especially if it's contained within like reading lore, right? But when I talk to people I know and am used to talking to, or even just people in general, I tend to like backtrack and I slide back into a more feminine, accommodating voice. Like, I don't know, like I feel like I'm like, oh, I'm like a big tiger in a room full of house cats, and I need to like make sure that I don't startle them by moving too fast or roaring too loud or something like that. Like, this is an extreme example, but it's like an emotional aspect that makes voice training less clinical. Like, it's kind of this cultural echoing that interrupts your dedication to the craft. At least for me. So yeah, I'm still figuring out how to like hack my brain around that, but I'm sure it will be a process. I think one thing I'm doing is taking more of a toolbox approach to voice training, which I guess my therapist says is about half of his clients do that. And yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna do a few exercises now that I've rambled. I've just been like super rambly lately. All right, so yawn size, sliding high to low. I'm gonna take a drink and then I'm gonna do that. And then after I do the boring stuff, I'm gonna do some more fun voice things that I've been playing with. So. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, maybe I'll do a few of those tongue twister thingies. I don't need this anymore. I'm gonna do, is it here? List. Oh no, this, oh, there's the tongue twisters. Okay. Yeah, all right, so. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter, but if I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter will make my batter better, so it 'twas better Betty Botter bought a bit of better butter. Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it'll make my batter bitter, but a bit of better butter will make my batter better, so it 'twas better Betty Botter bought a bit of better butter. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck, he would, as much as he could, and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck would. All right, so I'll transition into something a little bit fun that I have been doing lately. So, something that I used to do growing up. I have a sibling, and I lived in a time where most families did not have internet in my rural community. But I did have internet because of my father's hobby of getting old electronics from a junkyard and fixing them up. Now, being young and having unsupervised access to the internet was, well, all that you would expect it to be, especially as the internet was a bit different back then. It was not long after the internet stopped being a thing exclusively for colleges to communicate with each other and was just barely beginning to be pushed into public usage. Also, I lived in a rural area, but my area had won some type of lottery to get computers. So, like, I was a part of the first generation of children that was taught how to use computers from, like, a very young age. And we had to take these typing speed tests. Pretty interesting because Koichi still works in customer service, tech support, and now there's a lot of younger kids who do not know how to type on a keyboard because they grew up only with touch screens. And that is so bizarre because I always assumed that younger people would be more tech savvy than me and my generation. And there definitely are young people who are, but there's also a lot of young people who kind of grew up in a cultivated garden wall computer experience. And, you know, they didn't have to do all of the complex troubleshooting that I had to do as a kid just to access basic video games. So anyway, wow, why the fuck did I bring that up? I sure had a reason, didn't I? But I've forgotten it now. I was talking about computers, and I was talking about voice training. Oh. Nope, it's gone. That happens sometimes. Anyway, yeah, so, oh, right, I remember now. Yeah, so my sibling and I had to share a computer, and we had a rule in my house where in order to use the computer for like half an hour, you had to do exercise for a full hour. I was a rebellious small one, so I would bike out into the woods with my Game Boy and then play my Game Boy for an hour and bike back. And I never got caught. But the problem was my sibling would keep using the computer. And it was my turn. And I couldn't force them off of the computer because that's not how I rolled at that age, at least. So what I would do is I would start improvised singing about the drama in my siblings' friend group, like who was cheating on who with who, and like which person was sleeping their way through all of the friends, or like just like which two friends were fighting over some dumb thing. And I would take like the tune to a song I knew and I would sing it with improvised lyrics, making fun of my siblings' friends and their drama, because my sibling had kind of more popular friends than me. So they always had drama. And that became somewhat of a hobby of mine. So when Koichi does things like punch me whenever I try to get into the ship on Helldivers 2, I take my revenge later in other ways. For example, I have a game that was released and it had a recent update. I've been supporting it on Patreon for like, wow, almost 10 years now. I think I started in 2016. So not quite 10, but it's been a while. They have a big update recently. I have this desktop computer, which I bought early because I was expecting the tariffs to hugely increase the price of electronics. And I wanted to have a more powerful machine to do more VR chat stuff, which I still need to fix my model for that. But in any case, I have a desktop, which I haven't owned for, I don't know, since I left home, honestly. I pretty much always had laptops. Gaming laptops, but laptops. So, anyway, so I needed my laptop to get the save data from the last time I played this work in progress game. Early access, as they call it these days. And I was trying to get Korichi to get it for me because, you know, I'm bedridden and I'm bedridden like most of the time. So I can't like make multiple trips throughout the day to get up my stuff. I can usually get up to walk like 1 or 2 times a day, and I usually save that for like bathroom trips because I have not yet reached the level of mental fortitude to have a caregiver help me with personal hygiene. I do it myself. I just struggle with it. I just save all my energy. So anyway, yes. So I was trying to get Korichi to help me, and he was playing a game and was kind of, you know, putting it off. So I started like singing. I did the thing I did to my siblings. So I started like singing to the tune of like the Black Parade, but instead I was like, so the Black Parade goes like, when I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. But then I'd instead go like, my laptop, I need it, I need it. I really need my laptop. That's why I'm crying so. And when I imitate voices, so when I hear people speak, I am an autistic who has a very sensitive tactile sensation. And thanks to my sleep meds, they have the added benefit of making it a lot easier for me to control fine muscles, which was very interesting and not something I expected. So like, anyway, when I hear somebody speaking, I kind of feel like a tactile echo that goes through my throat, and I can kind of feel like the ghost of the shape of the person's throat when they made that noise, right? So like certain areas of my throat feel an echo of being wider, or maybe other areas of my throat feel an echo of being narrower. And I kind of instinctually mimic that, and that's how I replicate sounds. I'm not necessarily very accurate about it. Part of the thing with like very sensitive tactile sense is that sometimes I'm controlling a muscle and it feels like a really big movement, but then I actually see a video and then I'm like, oh, that was actually a really small movement and I just worked really hard to do it. So like, basically what I'm saying is this is not necessarily a superpower. I'm not sure that it's that advantageous. I'm not better at mimicry than other people. It's just the way that I process sounds, right? So when I hear like the Black Parade, right? I have a certain feeling in my throat based on how my brain is processing the singer's voice, right? So for me, I feel almost, let me see, where is that? I have this image of throat anatomy. Singing throat anatomy. Right. Which one is a good one? I want one that includes the pharynx. This one's okay. Let's go with this one. Oh, this is a whole ass web page. I actually only want the image, please. Okay, so I'm gonna show that really quick. Okay. So, when I listen to the Black Parade, I feel kind of like an up-down stretch in this kind of pharynx area, right? Where it feels like it widens at the top and it widens at the base, and it also widens going like the open space is pushing up and pushing down while getting bigger, I guess, right? So I do that, and then I can try to hold that position in my throat and apply it to other things. This is something I discovered on accident while psychologically tormenting Korichi in very validated revenge for kicking me out of the Helldivers shuttle. So, I need my laptop. I need it. I really, really need it. That's why I'm crying so. Alright, so I felt like, and I don't know, I'm gonna have to listen to the recording because obviously I didn't record it in the moment. It felt like that was closer to kind of like a twinkier voice, which matches my body type better. So I was like, oh, cool, that's neat. And what if I hold that kind of throat position and I sing one of the girliest songs that I know? So I'll do that really quick. There's this song from, I think, like the English dub of an old Rurouni Kenshin thing, which Sosuke was my favorite color. Sosuke was my favorite color. Character. I'm pretty sure that's his name. Anyway, so all right. So I'm going to get into the Black Parade throat position, and then I'm going to sing the very girly pop ending song of that old version of the show. I brushed against those freckles that I hate, so life goes on, and I heave a little sigh for you. It's heavy, the love that I would share with you, but it dissolved like it was just a sugar cube. Now the little pain sitting in my heart has shrunken a bit, but it really does hurt me now. Those silly horoscopes, I guess I can't trust them after all. If we could get further away, hey, I wonder what it would be like. Yay, I'd be so happy inside my heart. All the memories I hold are beautiful in my mind, but they don't ease the hunger deep inside my soul. And tonight I thought I'd be just sitting in my sorrow. And now I must wonder why. What did it really mean to you? I just can't take it anymore. I just can't take it anymore. Whoa. Alright. I feel like I need to reduce my gain, I feel like that's peaking a little bit. I do have that filter, the compressor, which should hopefully keep it from like peaking really bad, but anyway, I tuned it down a little bit just because, I don't know, last time I listened to myself and I was like, wow, that's a lot louder than I meant. Anyway, so that I did not perfectly keep the throat voice consistent. I do it much better standing up, but I don't stream standing up because I can't stand for more than, a very short period of time. So yeah, and then I'll go ahead and sing it in the girly pop voice, for comparison. I brush against those freckles that I hate, so life goes on and I heave a little sigh for you. It's heavy, the love that I would share with you, but it dissolved like it was just a sugar cube. Now the little pain sitting in my heart has shrunken a bit, but it really does hurt me now. Those silly horoscopes, I guess I can't trust them after all. If we could get further away, ooh, I wonder what it would be like. Yeah, I'd be so happy inside my heart. All the memories I have are beautiful in my mind, but they don't ease the hunger deep inside my soul. And tonight I thought I'd be just sitting in my sorrow, and now I must wonder why. What did it really mean to you? I just can't take it anymore. I just can't take it anymore. Whoa. All right. So, not my best, but it was definitely girlier than the other version. And I'm going to force myself to listen to this later so I can actually see how big of a difference it is. Because, like I said, sometimes I think I'm doing a big muscle movement, and in actuality, I am not. And the difference does not sound as big as it does in my head. But I've been having fun with that. Like, I would just take some kind of song like that. It really helps that, like, whiny kind of, whiny Twinkie male voices were very in the 90s. So I feel like that's a little bit easier to do than, like, a full baritone. Like, if I was to sing that is as deep and, like, very... I don't know, as deep as I could go, it would probably still sound Twinkie because, like, voices do have features that display your physical characteristics to a degree, because of how resonance works through sizes of spaces. But anyway, so I'll do some yawns, and then I'll try to do that again in, like, a very different non-Black Parade voice. Maybe, like, wonder if I can get a throat feeling of the sound of silence. Let's see. Wow. I really like that song. I probably should have it memorized, but, like, my memory is so shit. Let's do Sound of Silence, lyrics, just so that I can get myself into a little bit of a feel for it. I am in fact a human. Please let me see the lyrics. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. That one's hard for me because, like, that's low for me. I'm not a baritone. I'm definitely more tenor. Tenor or alto. All right, so I don't have a very good echo from this song. I might actually need to listen to it again. It's not as burned into my memory. All right, let's pull up YouTube. Wait a second. Instead of this song, I could just do the dwarf digging a hole song. What the fuck?
Choose to
Why
lean
is
into
noise
it.
happening?
Every Mazda is engineered to give you effortless control.
Which fucking tab is the sinner? Where is this sound coming from? Give me a second, guys. Okay, well, I briefly panicked, but it turned out that for some reason, so I am one of those people that always has too many tabs open. And my better computer definitely enables that in me. So I had this tab for like the voice stuff, and the other tabs are kind of not loaded. Like stuff tends to like modern browsers often kind of turn those off. They don't fully load the page if you haven't opened it in a while. But apparently when I said diggy diggy hole, it started playing that tab that was supposed to be dormant, and it started playing an advertisement. So that was fucking weird. A little bit disconcerting, to be honest. So anyway, I'm gonna try to steal the throat shape of this. Let me listen to it for a second.
Brothers of the mind rejoice. Sing, sing, sing with me. Racial pick and racial voice. Sing, sing, sing with me. Down and...
Okay, so for me, let me get that let me get that larynx picture again. Yeah, I don't think I need this or that. All right, so, oh no, that's the thing I didn't want to close. What the fuck? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. I preserved it. I didn't think the funky carrot was the right one. Okay. So I'll show this this image again. All right. So I told you about the throat feeling when I'm imitating the Black Parade, and now I'll do the throat feeling of Diggy Diggy Hole. So I'm gonna go back a little bit and just like listen to it, get a feel for it.
Of the mind rejoice. Sing, sing, swing with me. Racial pick and racial voice.
All right, so if the previous Black Parade is like a column, right, that stretches up and down, when I listen to that, my echoes feels closed off on the top, and then it opens down but in a triangle shape. So it's like wider the lower it goes and thinner the higher it goes. that's how it feels to me. Now, again, this might be very exaggerated as a feeling, and maybe that's not realistic in sense of like the feeling does not always perfectly translate to reality. But in any case, it's like a signpost that I can use anyway, so. Brothers of the mind, rejoice, sing, sing, sing. Oh, swing, swing, swing with me. Raise your picks and raise your voice, sweet, sing, sing, sing with me. Okay, so, gonna get that. And let's see if I can sing the Girly Pop song like this. I'm not sure that I can. It's very, very different, but we'll try. Brothers of the mind, rejoice, sing, swing, swing with me. I brushed against those freckles that I hate, so life goes on, and I heave a little sigh for you. It's heavy, the love that I would share with you, but it dissolved like it was just a sugar cube. Now the little pain sitting in my heart has shrunken a bit, but it really does hurt me now. Those silly horoscopes, I guess I can't trust them after all. If we could get further away, I wonder what it would be like. Yay! I'd be so happy inside my heart. All the memories I have are beautiful in my mind, but they don't ease the hunger deep inside my soul. And tonight I thought I'd be just sitting in my sorrow. And now I must wonder why. What does it really mean to you? I just can't take it anymore. I just can't take it anymore. Oh, oh, that was hard. That was very, very strained. Oh. I would believe that that is not healthy for my throat, but I did it as a practice. Now, another fun thing that I found out while taking my psychological revenge on Korichi in our mutual, very teasing exchange of pettiness, was for some reason I can sing very well in a masculine way. At least it sounds that way in my head. I'll have to listen to the recording to actually know. But I can do like this really campy southern voice. So sometimes if I want to tease Korichi, I will just sing a song in a really bad country voice. It's kind of fun. So maybe I'll try singing that song in a country voice. Let me see. I brushed against those freckles that I hate, so life goes on, and I heave a little sigh for you. It's heavy love that I would share with you, but it dissolved like it was just a sugar cube. Now my little pain sitting in my heart has drunken a bit, but it really does hurt me now. Those silly horoscopes, I guess I can't trust them after all. If we could get further away, I wonder what it would be like. Yay, I'd be so happy inside my heart. All the memories I have are beautiful in my mind, but they don't ease the hunger deep inside my soul. And tonight I thought I'd be just sitting in my sorrow. And now I must wonder why. What did it really mean to you? I just can't take it anymore. I just can't take it anymore. Whoa. So, when I did something like that to Korichi before, after I did it, I was like, bro, I'm a bard. I'm dealing psychic damage with my singing. It was pretty fun. Anyway, my voice is definitely very, crunchy, crackly. I let my throat get too dry, which is not great if you're going to be singing that. And I also did a bunch of voices that are not good for my throat. But, I don't know. You know, sometimes voice training gets monotonous, and it's fun to just do weird things. Maybe they sound bad. Maybe they sound horrible. Maybe some things sound a little bit better than you expected. But, you know, it's all a part of the toolbox that you're building by slowly being able to do, different types of voices. Yeah. Well, I think I'll leave it there for now. And that wasn't supposed to happen, but it's fine. Anyway, yeah, I'll go ahead and stop there. I fucked around, and I guess the delayed embarrassment will hit me later, and I will find out. Anyway, thanks for being on this curse journey with me, and remember, it's okay to be really tacky and awful as long as you're having fun.